बिचमा
Pega a visão, o cara tem um dom. Sabe quem é? Sabe quem é? Sabe quem é? DJ Sazon.
Vucu, vapo, vapo, vucu, vapo, vapo, vucu, vapo, 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 vucu, vapo,
bate a buceta no saco, vapo, bate a buceta no saco.
Novinha aproveita que eu tô facinho. Novinha aproveita, o Sazon tá facinho. Vem sentando na piroca, rebola devagarinho. Vem sentando na piroca, rebola devagarinho. Assim, assim, assim. Quando ela brota na minha treta, ela se revela. Fica peladinha, passe minha tcheca.
No baile de favela ele comeu minha tcheca. Vou sentar pros envolvidos, pros menor que tá de peça.
Novinha que é putaria, adora poc. Novinha que é putaria, adora poc. Em cima do piru ela dá uma sentada forte. Em cima do Sazon ela dá uma sentada forte. Vai sentando forte, vai quicando forte. Vai sentando forte. Toma poc, toma poc, toma poc. Então toma, piroca maluca. O DJ Sazon catuca essa puta, então toma. Outro patamar, valeu. Pega nós, vou nem discutir porque nós tá em outro patamar. Só tem uma coisa a dizer, vapo, executamos a concorrência. Pega a visão, o cara tem um dom. Sabe quem é? DJ Sazon.
पुग्यौं के अरे सरिना के सरिना सुगर मिलमा अब हामी बढ्दैछौँ हामी उखुबारीमा उखु गाँठलामा चिनी गाँठलामा हामी घुम्दैछौँ। हामी आधा घन्टा अगाडि आएको छ टाइमभन्दा आधा घन्टा होइन सरिना सुगर सेट भनेको यही होला सरिना भनेको यिनीहरू होला
next door. We're not going over there, way too many stairs. Now when we plant cane, pieces of cane just like this. So we're not planting seeds, this is what we're doing. Now you can see each one of these pieces of cane has these rings down it, and each one of those rings has little bumpy bits on it. Now just bear in mind these are dry old pieces that have been cut for ages, so they usually look a little bit prettier. But if you have a look at each one of those rings, you can see each one's got one of those little bumpy bits on it. And you can see down here, we've got them here as well. Stuff down in that furrow, flat and overlapping just like that. And each one of those little bumpy bits shoots up that new cane stalk. So that's how we plant. Now about, I don't know, a couple of weeks later, that little shoot is actually going to multiply or pop out, and that's how you get your stall or cluster of cane. 12 months later then, we're going to harvest it. And because it's a type of grass, what does the grass do when you cut the grass? Grows back, exactly. So does the cane, because it's a type of grass. So we don't have to plant this stuff every year. We are going to plant it though, probably every 4 or 5 years, because every time it does shoot back, or return is the fancy word, it's just not quite as good as it was the year before. So we get about 4 or 5 years out of it. Now, back in the day, this stuff was all cut by hand. So the cane cutter comes into the paddock, big, ugly, heavy, long, machete-looking knife. He's going to take a swing, cut that cane off the ground level. He's going to then cut that fan of leaves off the top of it. This is quite immature cane, so it's kind of hard to see that fan of leaves at the top there, but we'll cut the leaves off the top, and then they rake down the stalk to get rid of the rest of the leaves off it as well. Lay it on the ground in big whole stick bundles. But as we're doing that, you can imagine what is going on down underneath there. What's cooling around in there trying to make your life difficult? Only the world's most deadliest snake, the taipan, the world's most deadliest spider, the funnel web, among the other roots that will try and kill you as well. Now there is one more thing that's going to try and kill you, and there is actually the rats. So what the rats are going to do, run around in there and do their wee-wees all over the leaves. Now if you were to grab hold of a leaf, and I don't encourage you to do it, you will find razor sharp on each edge. It's going to cut you like a paper cut. Who's had a paper cut before? They're not fun, are they? No, they hurt. So, if one of those leaves gives you a cut that the rat has urinated on, then that urine gets into your bloodstream. It causes something called Wheels disease, or leptospirosis for another word, and that unfortunately killed a lot of our early cane cutters. So, we needed to get rid of everything trying to kill us in there before we got in and cut the cane. Now what we did was set it on fire. That way, burns off all the leaves, chases all the critters out, and now we can get in there and cut cane without dying. These days though, we have the big metal harvesters come in and cut the cane for us. So we don't have the human cane contact, we don't have to worry about burning it first. You are still going to see them burn cane in some areas where they irrigate it. So the more you water a plant, the better it grows, right? Further up north, they've got plenty of water up there. They water their cane and it grows lots taller and thicker and lots more leaf and trash and weed, and all of that extra growth clogs the harvesters up and they can't get through it unless they go burn it out first. So that's why you do still see fires around. Alright, we're going to start out our machines, guys. We're going to go this way first. This is an old planter, so we will start at the beginning. Now this is originally horse-drawn, but as tractors come along, it was adapted for that. Now farmers, they've already been out and cut some of their own cane, which they will leave in the big hole sticks, and they get stood up on either side of the machine. And our farmer sits here on his fertiliser box. So he grabs a whole stick, feeds it down the little chute in the centre there. dragged along, the wheels are turning, which is driving blades underneath. Cuts that whole stick as it drops through into those billets. Then as it's being dragged along down the bottom there, it's creating the furrow for those billets to drop into. Then it's getting a little trickle of fertiliser and pesticide, and these metal tines at the back are kicking the dirt back over to fill it in. So, one pass of this, 1 acre a day. Today, we've got big multi-row planters that will plant like 25 acre days. A bit quicker these days. I have had a gentleman on a tour one day, and he told me that he used to get his wife to operate this machine back in those days. So I asked him if we were telling everyone the truth. Did you get about 1 acre a day? And he said that depended on what mood she was in. So it wasn't really awesome. Alright guys, come on down here. We're going to show you how we move the cane from the paddock over to the railway line. On two, got the old wooden wagon wheels here. Ours come along a little bit later in the tractor era. So this one was drawn by tractors. So what's happening is, our whole sticks of cane will lay flat across the bed. You'd hook a chain over the top, 1 tonne. Later on, they realised if you put those metal tines on top there, you can get another whole tonne on top of that. 2 tonnes. Now, you do want to get as much on there as you can. Once you cut cane, it breaks down very, very quickly. So you load it up as much as you can. You get it to the railway line as soon as you can. At the railway line, we're going to have a siding. And that's a branch of railway line that comes out off the main one. And it's got some open-ended tracks sticking up out of the ground. So we're going to buffer this up those open-ended tracks, and you can see just underneath the bed there, it's got its own little drain wheels on it. So that top section with the cane just simply rolls off onto the line. Grab an empty one of those, back up, away you go again, and we still use something just like that today. Just got sides on them and call them bins now really, so that's hasn't come very far from that at all. Now once your cane is at the railway line, it's actually up to the mill to get it in and crushed within a 24-hour window. If they can't do that, they have to compensate you for any loss. So that's how quickly this stuff will break down. Alrighty, we are going to move on to the one up the back here, guys. This is an old harvester. So a local Serena cane farmer actually made this, converted a tractor, and he's the one that took us from cutting by hand to cutting by machine. So Mr. Ray Benton, his name was. Now our cane's all planted in rows, so we're going to drive our tractor down the road, and the chains out the front there will start pulling the cane in. Big blade down between the front wheels there cuts the cane off at ground level, and then these whole sticks of cane, like you can see here, are going to travel standing all the way along till we get to the back there, roll around, and drop down into that bin to make the bundle. Little blade over the other side there, chops the top off as it falls in. Now the top is actually really important. The top is what makes the sugar. So that fan of leaves at the top there uses the sun, it's called photosynthesis, and creates the sugar. Sends the sugar down and stores it in the stalk. So once the top's done its thing, send all the sugar down, nothing left up there to process, so that's why we cut the tops off. And we cut cane for about 20 years like that. And then they realised that if you cut it up into those smaller billet-sized pieces and put it into the bins, you can bring more in more quickly, which means you can grow more and make more money out of it. So the bins that you'll see around the sidings, waiting for the crush to start again, they will hold about 4 tonne of billet-sized pieces of cane. The further north you go, the bigger the bins get. Further up in the Burdekin, they've got right up to 20-tonne bins. But when we started cutting it up into smaller pieces, we needed different machinery to do that for us, and that's when the big guns come in. So anybody seen harvesters out working in the cane fields? No? Alright, well, unfortunately I've only got a couple of little pictures here. But these 2 circle pictures here are current harvesters. A couple of different brands there. So, little things they are. Ugly, poisonous. So, plenty of these around this area. Now, they were introduced to try and combat something else. They were introduced to try and combat the cane beetle. Ugly looking Christmas kind of beetle. Now the beetles fly around up in the top of the cane, they don't do too much trouble up there, but what they do is come and lay their larvae down in the ground. The larvae go down and eat the nodules out of the cane, so it can't shoot. So that's why the cane beetle is a problem, because of their larvae. Now we introduced the cane toad to eat the cane beetle. Well, the jury's still out as whether they actually eat the cane beetle at all. But cane toads can't fly, they can't climb, They don't have big long tongues or anything like that, so they're pretty useless getting the cane beetle up there. They can't dig, so they can't go down and get the larvae out of the ground. So if they're lucky enough to snap one on its way past, perhaps that's about as useful as they are. But the story doesn't stop there. As we know, the cane beetle is, the cane toad is poisonous, right? Yeah? Well, the natural predator for the cane beetles were things like goannas and lace monitors, you know, big long geckos with big long teeth and tongues. Yeah, stuff that up there. And so that's what would eat these. Now, when we introduced the cane toad, they thought, oh, we'll try and eat them instead. And being poisonous, it killed off a lot of the natural predator for our beetles. And then the rats realised that if you tip these guys over, you can eat their bellies and not die. So then we had a massive rat infestation. Yeah, because there's a new source of food for them. So, the cane toad is a big bomb for a lot of reasons, not just 4,000 tonnes of cane. Last year they crushed nearly 1.4 million tonnes, and we are one of the smaller ones around. Plain Creek does run down the other side of it, and before Serena was called Serena, guess what it was called? Plain Creek. Plain Creek. There you go. If anybody wants to go and grab an umbrella, guys, we're only got about 5 minutes here, but it is starting to spit. Alrighty, so the crushing season goes for about 6 months of the year, between June and November. Before it starts, all the farmers tell the mill how much they think they're going to supply in tonnage of cane, and then the mill will go and work out a round robin system. Here is silver mill. So this is what we use to crush our cane. And while he doesn't look real miniature at all, does he really? He's quite big. He was actually used for researching sugar at one stage. So the Catherine Macaulay College in Mackay there used to be the Sugar Research Institute. That's where Bill come from. When they shut down, they were nice enough to give him to us. All of our other machines. So that's going to bash the billets open before they drop in. Now this is a second-hand one because they're actually square when they're first installed. It's made of tungsten steel, which is a reinforced steel. And this little fella here is actually only 2 weeks old. That's how tough the outside of this cane is, to wear that down in just 2 weeks. So they have to stop for a maintenance day every 2 weeks just to swap the hammers out on the shredder next to them. Alrighty, so, like I said, we saw some hidden cane farms in Serena. Our little truck goes out underneath the harvester, backs in through the doors here, and then feeds that conveyor that then feeds into the mill. So there's our interlocking metal rollers and our absolutely filthy fillets of cane. Bit of dirt, bit of dust, bit of mud, bit of cockroach leg, bit of snake scale, bit of moss fur, bit of rat poo, whatever you can think of, it's all in there. It's like dirty old creek water down the bottom there. So the juice collects underneath, the leftover cane trash comes out the other end. That's what ours looks like. Remember, it's only been through 1 mill and no shredder. Over next door, once it's been through the 5 mills and a shredder, it looks a bit more like that. So that is what we call gas, and that's what we're feeding into the boilers to burn, create steam and power. So that there is free power, pretty much. It's like gold around these parts. And then we have the dirty old juice. I'm going to sample of that for you. It looks like this. It's lovely murky brown colour. You can see all the sediment down the bottom where we keep the lizards, gizzards, and the snake scales and stuff like that. Would you like to try some sugarcane juice? No? No? Usually there's some for us, I guess. Absolutely not. We're not going to give you that. And you get to try a nice, clean, fresh sample. Has anybody had sugarcane juice before? Yes, lots of yeses. Did you like it? Yeah? Yep, no, yeah. I love the stuff personally, but not everybody does. That's totally fine too. And you don't have to drink it all either, by the way. I do have a little tub there, and if you don't like it, you can just drop the whole cup in there. We're not going to make you drink it if you don't like it. It's different to the old horrible bits outside, don't they? So this is what I'm going to put through our little milk junior, but it doesn't look real juicy, does it? No. Let's see what we get out of it. So I'm just going to run it through from behind. is the juice that the farmer gets paid for, only the one from the first mill. And then it goes through another 4 mills next door. So you can see there's still plenty left in it. So all the juice they get out of the next 4 mills, that all belongs to the mill. They make sugar out of it and sell it, and then that's how they pay the farmers for their cattle. So you can see that the mill's doing just fine out of it as well. That's not supposed to be there. Sugar cane is 70% water, 15% fibre, and 15% sugar. So the white fluffy stuff on the inside there is the fibre, and that's where it's storing all of its sugar in the white fluffy stuff. Now, you can chew on that white fluffy stuff, but you do have to spit it out again. You can't swallow it. This way,
그래?
यो चाहिँ फाइबर हो रे उखु भनेर चाहिँ
and I'll probably squeeze most of the juice out of it.
70% चाहिँ
So I'll bring this little
अनि अरु
jug
चाहिँ यो
around,
फाइबर
guys. This is all the
सुँगेर
juice
हेर्नु
we collected just out of those 3 tiny little billets of cane. So it's really quite surprising just how much comes out of that cane. Now the general ratio is 7 to 1. We should get 1 ton of sugar from every 7 tons of cane. Now remember, the sweet sugar cane juice here, guys. You are more than welcome to come up and grab a cup and see what you think. As you can see, I'm not a very good bartender. So, 1%, you don't have to drink it either. There is a cup down the other end there, and that's where your cups go. They do not have to be empty.
이거 아니면 간? 이번 간. 내일 간.
So remember, sugarcane is 70% water, 15% fibre, and 15% sugar. So you've got about 15% sugar at the moment. Where we'd leave that little green cup there for about 15 to 20 minutes, it would be as brown as this bench and sour just in that time. That's how quickly cane breaks down. So it breaks down that quickly that we can't even make sugar out of it unless... So we take the juice from Bill the Mill and we pour it through Millie's screen. And you'll see the big dirty old cane toe pop out the front there. Who wants to eat sugar now? Yes, so what we're doing here, screen out the chunky stuff, we heat it up to 77 degrees and then we add some mineral lime. So not the fruit kind of lime, the rock kind of lime. So the lime is a calcium compound, it goes into that juice and the lime is going to change the pH level or acidity level of the juice. We need to change it from a natural 5 right up to an 8, which is more alkaline. The clarifier, this is little clary over here. Now clary, first of all, is going to kill off the bacteria by boiling the juice. So we boil the juice, kill the bacteria, and then we add flocculant to it. So flocculant is a man-made, non-hazardous food-grade chemical. The wine industry uses egg white, so that's the same type of consistency, but ours is a man-made one. So what this stuff is going to do is create a negative charge. And what that means is it drips down through the juice, disperses, and then grabs hold of all the tiny, yucky little bits and pieces in the juice. Then, the negative charge, it makes all those pieces clump together. So that's your negative charge. Once it's all clumped together, it's heavier than the juice and it all sinks to the bottom and leaves your clean juice sitting up on top. So that's how we clean the juice up. So, knock the top off this, pass it around. Don't worry, the smell has gone out of it. It's been in there all season, so it's not too bad now. But you can pass that around, have a look. You can imagine what the kids tell me it looks like. Something that starts with P. The adults usually say something's done this. But I have a bathtub full of this stuff at home, and I planted some little, spring onions, little shallots in it, and they look like leeks now. They're absolutely huge, so it's a really good fertiliser. Alright, so once we have got all the stuff out of the bottom there, believe it or not, the on top looks like this. And it hasn't gone off or oxidised because we stabilised it. So that's not why it's brown. The reason that it is brown is that when you heat sugar up, it caramelises. Yeah, if you've ever made toffee, put the sugar in the pot, you stir it, it melts and it goes brown because it's caramelised. So that's what's happened here. We've got caramelised juice now. So we take this caramelised juice, which is clean, very clean, but first, so that allows us to only have to get to 51 degrees to boil that juice, which is less energy cost to run her. But it also allows us to capture those vapours that we've boiled off. We will recondense those vapours, put them back down through the cooling towers, and then put that water back into the processing. So again, no wastage there. 86 litres of juice goes into Effie, and once she's finished, she gives us back 20 litres of the juice without the water, which we call sugar syrup. So sugar cane syrup. Now this stuff here is measured in a unit called bricks. With one of those, it's called a refractometer. When we say bricks, it's B-R-I-X. So this stuff here should be 60 bricks or 60% sugar now at this stage. And the best part about it is you get to taste it. You should be able to taste a bit of molasses in there though, because molasses is refined. So what do you reckon, guys? Not too bad? Yeah. Everybody has different opinions. I love the stuff on the pancakes for breakfast. I reckon that need to go. Did you want to try some? Now, like I said, you should be able to taste molasses in there. You should also be able to taste things like treacle and golden syrup, because all of those things are refined from sugar syrup as well. And then we are going to do a process called shock seeding. So we're going to shock the syrup into crystallising. The way we do that is to inject a shot of air into the boiling syrup with a little bit of caster sugar in it. Now that caster sugar acts like a seed. When it hits the boiling syrup, the syrup goes, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do, okay, and starts growing crystals. It's the part of the sugar syrup that doesn't crystallise. So I've essentially just pulled all the sugar out of the molasses, and that's why molasses doesn't taste very nice. Get it right back. That looks like this one here. This one is the one you buy from the supermarket. So you can see that they are two completely different products. Hey, you're getting a distillery tour here too by the look of it. So, so this stuff here is what we're getting out of the middle. This stuff is from the supermarket. About 20 years ago, Australian Food Standards stepped in and they said this one is made in a big dirty yucky old open air factory. It can be contaminated and you can't eat it like that. So you're actually not allowed to eat raw sugar in Australia. You are not allowed to sell raw sugar within Australia. It all must be refined before it's consumed or sold. So, look, I've worked over there in that big dirty old mill and I tell you, I wouldn't eat anything that come out of there. It is disgusting. There's like fermenting molasses on the floor and grease and cockroach and dirt and dust and cobwebs and whatever hanging from all the rafters, and I mean you can see how it's been left for about 24 hours in the pan to boiled to grow into that bigger crystal size. Once they've grown it to that size, they'll dry it out, then they'll put it back in something a lot like Derek actually, which is going to roll all those crystals around, knock off all the sharp little crystal edges, so you get nice little round balls of sugar. We're going to put those in a couple of just sugar. Yep. So when you guys are eating fairy bread, you're literally eating a sugar sandwich. There you go. Stop it.
And no artificial colours or flavours either. They're all made here on site, and we even have a volunteer that comes in and helps make these. Now, if you want any ideas on how to use anything, we do have a lot of them written up on the board there. If you do have any allergies, guys, please let me know, and I'll let you know what you can and can't have. All the ingredients are written on the back of the labels as well. There is one I'm going to give you a heads up about. I'm actually going to tell you to skip it completely because I'm a big sook apparently. HTLS. This little fella here with the skull and crossbones on the label. HTLS stands for hello, this looks serious. He's seriously hot. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. But water, anything like that as well. Now the next one along is our coconut liqueur. This one's kind of like Malibu. If you've had Malibu, you probably had it with pineapple juice or maybe a pina colada out of it. Maybe you drank it with Coke, so I drink it. It also goes really well. So it's July liqueur. So just like that chocolate bar in a liquid form.
The chocolate.
Now I like to drink this stuff straight myself, but you can put it over ice. You can put it over ice cream, top it up with lemonade. You've got like an adult version of a cider. You can put it in all your desserts too, cheesecakes, and rumbles, and rum, anything like that as well. You can drink it with milk too. I don't know if I mentioned that. Butterscotch schnapps. This is the one that you ladle with Baileys for those cowboy shots. We'll call them cowboy shots. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You can drink it with milk, you can drink it with coffee. Best recipe. Let your ice cream soften. Swirl this stuff through it, but don't mix it in. And then let it set again and eat it like that. Or if you don't have time, you can pour it in. Depending on what kind of day you want, if you put a shot of this in your morning coffee, yeah, you want to really good.
Coffee gonna hand? Coffee.
It's a chocolate toffee with a hint of vanilla. It has won us multiple awards at the Australian Distilling Awards.
Your Australian award winning rate.
And silver. So that one you can drink again over ice, drink it neat, drink it with milk. We make a sugar shed smoothie process. So like here, we just put it in a blender with ice cream, ice, milk. So he teamed up with confectioner, they come up with fairy floss. A whole stick of fairy floss the size of your head, 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. That is it. So you don't even have to feel guilty about having fairy floss. So if you compare it to a couple of other things, a Mars bar has 8.5 teaspoons. A can of Coke has about 10 teaspoons. A can of Red Bull's got like 14. So 1.5 teaspoons for a little stick of fairy floss. Not all that bad, is it? Now it works just like cranking a bugle. It is a centrifuge. So we put the sugar inside, and then it spins, pushes to the outside, which is a heated element. That melts the sugar, and then the sugar, gets pushed out with the air, re-solidifies. That's the trouble here, aren't I? There you go. 1.5 teaspoons of sugar right there. And it isn't just for the kids either, guys. All the adults are more than welcome to have some. So come and grab it if you would like some.
Tawa kita. Oh.
Old Pressure Mall. Isso não tem nada lá igual. Sempre vai, não. Estabeleceu. Câmera olhando também. Smooth também.
Pega a visão. O cara tem um dom. Sabe quem é? Sabe quem é? Sabe quem é? DJ Sazon.
E a queimar isso.
Bate a buceta no saco, vapo, bate a buceta no saco.
Novinha aproveita que eu tô facinho. Novinha aproveita, o Sazon tá facinho. Vem sentando na piroca, rebola devagarinho. Vem sentando na piroca, rebola devagarinho. Assim. Quando ela brota na minha treta, ela se revela. Fica peladinha, passe minha tcheca.
No baile de favela ele puxa a tcheca. Você tá pros envolvidos, pros menores de peça.
Novinha quer putaria, adora poc. Novinha quer putaria, adora poc. Em cima do piru, ela dá uma sentada forte. Em cima do Sazon, ela dá uma sentada forte. Vai sentando forte, vai quicando forte. Vai sentando forte. Toma poc, toma poc, toma poc. Toma, piroca maluca. O DJ Sazon catuca essa boca, então toma. Outro patamar, valeu. Pega nós, vou nem discutir porque nós tá em outro patamar. Só tem uma coisa a dizer, executando a concorrência. Pega a visão, pega a visão. O cara tem um dom. Sabe quem é? DJ Sazon.
Officer, Hirakaji. Hey, 이번에 officer 아니요? 그래서 풀려져 이거 야다. पानी पर्दैन लगेजतिर पर्दैन हामी स्काई पोइन्टमा आउँदैछु तर लाग्दै यो हिन्दी भाषाबाट पनि लेखाएको छ नि त स्वागत है भनेर हो वेलकम फास्ट इलेक्ट्रो अप्ठ्यारो गर्नु 30 सेकेन्डमा यो सबै यहाँ चढेको बाबर चाहिँ फ्री हो यो टिकट चाहिँ हामी पहिले काटेकोले त्यसमा फ्री भएको हो सबैले माथि टावर सेफ 40 मिटरको माथि के छ भन्दा अस्ट्रेलियामा छैन एसियाको
Pega a visão, cara tem dom. Sabe quem é? DJ Sazon.
Bate a buceta no saco, babapo, bate a buceta no saco.
Novinha aproveita o Sazon tá fazendo. Vem sentando na piroca, rebola devagarinho. Vem sentando na piroca, rebola devagarinho.
यहाँबाट हेर्दाखेरि पानीमै
Ela brota na minha teta, ela se revela, fica peladinha, passinha tcheca.
No baile de favela ele comigo na tcheca. Você tá pros envolvidos, pros menor que tá de peça.
Novinha quer putaria, adora poc. Novinha quer putaria, adora poc. Em cima do piru, ela dá uma sentada forte. Em cima do Sazon, ela dá uma sentada forte. Vai sentando forte, vai quicando forte. Vai sentando forte. Toma poc, toma poc, toma. Então toma, piroca.
यो के इतिहासको लागि
DJ Sazon.
सफ्ट मुभी
Catuca essa prontidão, toma, outro patamar, valeu. Pega nós, vou nem discutir porque nós tá em outro patamar. Só tenho uma coisa a dizer, vapo, executamos a concorrência. Pega a visão, cara tem um dom. Sabe quem é? DJ Sazon.
यो
पोल जस्तो छ नि त्यो चाहिँ स्टेडियम हो
यो होइन त्यसो माग्नु भयो नेवारको छ यो फ्लेक्सिबल चुचा काटेर
तिनीहरूको लागि एकदमै राम्रो अनि एकदम लामो छ क्या यो ब्रिज
अनि घुम्दा घुम्दै टाइम बितेको थाहा
अनि सबैभन्दा राम्रो भनेको चाहिँ यसको उयो क्या छाल आउँछ नि छाल आउँदाखेरि अर्कै प्रकारको छाल आउँछ कि
त्यहाँ जस्तो छालमा बस्दैन मान्छेहरू बस्दैन
बस्छ अहिले पानी पर्दा चाहिँ
घाम लाग्यो भने त काम यति खाली नै हुने
त शनिबार आइतबार नि अहिले टेन्सन हुँदैन पुरै हाम्रोमा हिँड्दा नै होटेल जलाइहाल्यो
पनि यहाँ चाहिँ हिँड्ने हो भुटान है नेपालको हिल
मेरियट पनि छ काठमाडौँमा क्यारे मेरियट होटेल पनि छ काठमाडौँमा
पेपर्स हो नि पेपर्स हो नोभोटेल
उनीहरूले चाहिँ चल्नु त्यो अपार्टको होटेलको स्विमिङ पुल व्यवस्थित गरेर बनाएको
विकसित देश रुङ्गा
राम्रो छ क्या
Pega a visão, o cara tem dom. Sabe quem é? Sabe quem é? Sabe quem é? DJ Sazon.
Olha, gente.
Bate a buceta no saco, bate a buceta no saco.
Novinha aproveita que novinha aproveita, o Sazon tá fazendo. Vem sentando na piroca, rebola devagarinho. Vem sentando na piroca, rebola devagarinho.
Sendo lá viu?
Ela brota na minha treta, ela se revela, fica peladinha, passe minha tcheca.
No baile de favela ele comeu a tcheca. Vou sentar pros envolvidos, pros menores que tá de peça.
Novinha que é putaria, adora poc. Novinha que é putaria, adora poc. Em cima do piru ela dá uma sentada forte. Em cima do Sazon ela dá uma sentada forte. Vai sentando forte, vai sentando forte, vai sentando forte. Toma poc, toma, toma poc, toma, toma, toma poc, toma. Então toma, piroca maluca. O DJ Sazon catuca essa puta, então toma, toma. Outro patamar, valeu. Pega nós, vou nem discutir porque nós tá em outro patamar. Só tem uma coisa a dizer, vapo, executamos a concorrência. Pega a visão, pega a visão.
नेपालको साझा बसा यो साझा बसा
DJ Sazon.
आकाश सुने गगन चुम्बी पवन के गोलको नाम के अरे यो मलको नाम के अरे ठुलो मल भयो होइन सबैले मल Hah? Ini mau nuduh kayak macam Hah? Masalah sehat olsun. Udah, baru ni siapa? Mati soalnya baru ni siapa? Terus bazaar, fal bazaar. है कस्तो ल प्याकिङ मात्र एउटा ब्यागको $25,000 कम्तीमा
त्यही पनि
Pega a visão, o cara tem dom. Sabe quem é?
मोटरसाइकल किने जस्तै
DJ Sazon.
बरु मोटरसाइकल 3-4 दिन आउँछ
गाडी किन्न पनि
ब्रान्डेड जुत्ता यो जुत्ता कस्तो डिजाइन हेर्नु नि यहाँ एउटा फोटो थियो
Bate a buceta no saco, papo, vai papo, bate a buceta no saco.
Novinha, aproveita o Sazon tá fazendo. Vem sentando na piroca, rebola devagarinho. Vem sentando na piroca, rebola devagarinho. Assim.
अझ उता पानी पऱ्यो
Ela brota na minha treta, ela se revela, fica peladinha, passinha tcheca.
No baile de favela ele comeu minha tcheca. Vou sentar pros envolvidos, pros menor que tá de peça.
Novinha que é putaria, agora pop.
अघि हामीले हिल्टन होटल यहाँ होइन है उता
Em cima do piro, ela dá uma sentada forte. Em cima do Sazon, ela dá uma sentada forte. Vai sentando vai ficando
हुन्छ
vai sentando forte. Toma,
नेपाली मोमो पाउँछ त्यही नेपाली मोमो जस्तै होइन यहाँ
piroca maluca, o DJ Sazon catuca essa puta então toma, valeu. Vou nem discutir porque nós tá em outro patamar. Só tem uma coisa que sei.
बहुत त्यसलाई त्यहाँबाट एयरपोर्ट यो डोमेस्टिक एयरपोर्ट होइन यहाँ
डोमेस्टिक पनि हो तर न्युजिल्यान्ड उड्छ त्यही भएर
न्युजिल्यान्ड ए Pippin. Down na. Jackie Rocon. Pippin. Me? Okay, tram ready go. Tram ready go. मेरो कपाल त सेतो सेतै छ खै हावा चलेको बिचमा जान लाग्यो बिचमा जाने के यहाँ के गर्छन् ए नेपालको ठमेल जस्तै प्याराडाइज नेपालको ठमेल
Pega a visão, o cara tem um dom. Sabe quem é? Sabe quem é? Sabe quem é? DJ Sazon.
Bate a buceta no saco, babapo, babapo, bate a buceta no saco.
Novinha aproveita, novinha aproveita, o Sazon tá facinho. Vem sentando na piroca, rebola devagarinho. Vem sentando na piroca, rebola devagarinho. Assim, ela brota na minha treta, ela se revela, fica peladinha, passe minha tcheca.
No baile de favela ele comendo na tcheca. Você tá pros envolvidos, pros menores tá de peça.
Novinha que é puta putaria, adora poc-poc, novinha quer putaria, adora poc-poc. Em cima do peru ela dá uma sentada forte, em cima do sazão ela dá uma sentada forte. Vai sentando forte, vai quicando forte, vai sentando forte. Toma poc, toma, toma poc, toma.
이제 중에 빨리 비틀 버리고 내게 얘기가
Piroca maluca, o DJ Sazon catuca essa puta, então toma, toma. Trupa tá valeu. Pega nós, vou nem discutir porque nós tá em outro padrão. Só tem uma coisa a dizer, vapo, executando a concorrência. Pega a visão, o cara tem um dom. Sabe quem é? DJ Sazon.
Ah, mas... Sei, vai dar.
Are you afraid? I'm gonna get you off the
विशाल मॉल है इसी का। आँखा जाने भयो ल आँखाको हस्पिटल हो न जाउँ यतैबाट के ए ल विपिनलाई काम लाग्छ विपिनलाई बाबुहरूलाई काम लाग्छ रोजलाई पनि काम लाग्छ यो है हामी किनेपछि लगाइदिने मात्रै हो हामीलाई सेन्सुलाइनको कति सबै किन्नु पर्ने प्याकिङ नै त्यस्तो आउने कि पनि हामी त्यो उसमा यो मेसिन हेर्नु
Pega a visão, o cara tem um dom. Sabe quem é? DJ Sazon.
Tá. T-shirt.
Bate a vapo, bate a buceta no saco.
Novinha aproveita que eu tô facinho. Novinha aproveita, o sazão tá facinho. Vem sentando na piroca, rebola devagarinho. Vem sentando na piroca, rebola devagarinho. Assim. Ela brota na minha treta, ela se revela. Fica peladinha, passe minha tcheca.
No baile de favela ele comeu minha tcheca. Vou sentar pros envolvidos, pros menor que tá de peça.
Novinha quer putaria, adora poc-poc. Novinha quer putaria, adora poc-poc. Em cima do piru ela dá uma sentada forte. Em cima do sazão ela dá uma sentada forte. Vai sentando forte, vai ficando forte. Vai sentando forte. Toma poc, toma, toma poc, toma, toma, toma poc, toma. Então toma, piroca maluca. O DJ Sazão, catuca essa puta, então toma. Outro patamar, valeu. Pega nós. Vou nem discutir porque nós tá em outro patamar. Só tem uma coisa a dizer, vapo, executa uma concorrência. Pega a visão, o cara tem um dom. Sabe quem é? DJ Sazão.
이거 가나 엄청 라인은 맞다 이게 그렇지 시둘 oh no कतिको नजिक जानुहुन्छ सुन्दर होला यहाँको भ्यू है Bala कतिवटा ल यहाँ यो जाउँ भनेर पाक गरेर हुन्छ आउन पछाडि त्यहाँ गयो
Pega a visão, o cara tem um dom. Sabe quem é? Sabe quem é? Sabe quem é? DJ Sazon.
Vucu vapo, vapo, vucu vapo, vapo, vucu vapo, 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 vucu vapo,
Now arriving at Southbank, change here the connecting bus services to the Southbank bus road.
Novinha aproveita que eu tô facinho. Novinha aproveita, o Sazon tá facinho. Vem sentando na piroca, rebola devagarinho. Vem sentando na piroca, rebola devagarinho. Assim, assim, assim. Ela brota na minha treta, ela se revela. Fica peladinha, passe minha tcheca.
No baile de favela ele comeu minha chefe. Você tá pros envolvidos, pros menor que tá de peça.
Novinha quer putaria, adora poc-poc. Novinha quer putaria, adora poc-poc. Em cima do piru ela dá uma sentada forte. Em cima do Sazon ela dá uma sentada forte. Vai sentando forte, vai quicando forte. Vai sentando forte. Toma poc, toma, toma poc, toma, toma, toma poc, toma. Então toma, toma, piroca maluca. O DJ Sazon catuca essa puta, então toma, toma. Outro patamar, valeu. Pega nós, vou nem discutir porque nós tá em outro patamar. Só tem uma coisa a dizer, papo, executamos a concorrência. Pega a visão, pega a visão. Cara cantão. Sabe quem é? DJ Sazon.
Visionमा Vision Charming Square. Seven residents, huh? No 7 residents. This one good. धेरै होटल पनि धेरै भएको यो कार्य
pega a visão. O cara tem um dom. Sabe quem é? Sabe quem é? Sabe quem é? DJ Sazon.
Vucu vapo vapo, vucu vapo vapo, vucu vapo 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 vapo. Vucu vapo
bate a buceta no saco, vapo, bate a buceta no saco.
Novinha aproveita que eu tô facinho. Novinha aproveita, o Sazon tá facinho. Vem sentando na piroca, rebola devagarinho. Vem sentando na piroca, rebola devagarinho. Assim, assim. Ela brota na minha treta, ela se revela. Fica peladinha, passe minha tcheca.
No baile de favela ele comeu minha tcheca. Vou sentar pros envolvidos, pros menores tá de peça.
Novinha quer putaria, adora poc-poc. Novinha quer putaria, adora poc-poc. Em cima do piru ela dá uma sentada forte. Em cima do Sazon ela dá uma sentada forte. Vai sentando forte, vai quicando forte. Vai sentando forte. Toma poc, toma, toma poc, toma, toma, toma poc, toma. Então toma, piroca maluca. O DJ Sazon catuca essa puta, então toma, toma. Trupa tamar, valeu. Pega nós. Vou nem discutir porque nós tá em outro patamar. Só tem uma coisa a dizer, vapo, executamos a concorrência. Pega a visão, pega a visão. O cara tem um dom. Sabe quem é? Sabe quem é? Sabe quem é? DJ Sazon.
बिहान को 6 बजे मलेसियाको लागि प्लेन उडान
pega a visão. O cara tem um dom. Sabe quem é? Sabe quem é? Sabe quem é? DJ Sazon.
Bate a buceta no saco, vapo, bate a buceta no saco.
Novinha aproveita que tá facinho. Novinha aproveita, o Sazon tá facinho. Vem sentando na piroca, rebola devagarinho. Vem sentando na piroca, rebola devagarinho. Assim. Ela brota na minha treta, ela se revela. Fica peladinha, passe minha tcheca.
No baile de favela ele comeu minha tcheca. Vou sentar pros envolvidos, pros menores tá de peça.
Novinha que é putaria, adora poc-poc. Novinha que é putaria, adora poc-poc. Em cima do piru, ela dá uma sentada forte. Em cima do Sazon, ela dá uma sentada forte. Vai sentando forte, vai quicando forte. Vai sentando forte. Toma poc, toma, toma poc, toma, toma, toma poc, toma. Então toma, piroca maluca. O DJ Sazon, catuca essa puta, então toma, outro patamar, valeu. Pega nós, vou nem discutir porque nós tá em outro patamar. Só tem uma coisa a dizer, vapo, executamos a concorrência. Pega a visão, o cara tem um dom. Sabe quem é? Sabe quem é? Sabe quem é? DJ Sazon.
Só não, vou
É, mas
sério. धेरै ठुलो तरको एयरपोर्ट हो।
India यो ट्रेन है
रेड ट्रेन में होगा
तो मर्जी कराना है
Ocean.